Please tell your master, Sifo-Dyas, that his order will be met on time.
I'm sorry.
Master Sifo, who? Now, this was a name that was completely new to us in the Star Wars universe at the time, and George promised a complete backstory in Episode 3, but we didn't get anything until Season 6 of the Clone Wars. So, who was Sifo-Dyas? And, more importantly, what was his connection to the Sith?
The CANONs recounted that it was Jedi Master Sifo-Dyas who ordered the production of a clone army.
Without the consent of the Council or the Senate, he did this.
Master Sifo-Dyas hailed from the Cassandrian worlds and was a leading member of the Jedi High Council back in the last decades of the Republic. And he had a pretty awesome gift of foresight through the Force.
Prior to the blockade of Naboo, Sifo-Dyas sat on this council.
He said he foresaw great conflict, and that the Republic would need to raise an army.
But his fellow Jedi didn't share his same views, so they actually took him off of the Jedi Council, although he did remain a Jedi. Not long after this, an ex-Jedi and probable friend of Sifo-Dyas, who shared his same views and disillusionment about the Republic and the Jedi, approached him. This dude, of course, was the Count of Sereno, the Dooku himself.
This had nothing to do with me, I assure you.
Dooku had similar feelings to Sifo-Dyas and suggested the idea of him creating the army of the Republic, which could be held in reserve in case of a civil war, and that this was the only way to rid the Republic of the corruption they both saw and make things right again. Dyas agreed, and he ordered the clone army from the Kaminoans, who were known for the clone hatcheries, and he did so not only under the guise of the Republic, but as a member of the Jedi Order, which of course he wasn't anymore. And all this to avoid any red flags for this massive order that he was placing. Now we all know that Darth Sidious, aka the Palps, needed a full-scale war to take over the Republic, but he also couldn't create the army himself. Certainly not while he was a senator of Naboo, which he was at the time, so he had Dooku take the reins on the creation of this army and do it through Sifo-Dyas, because it would give legitimacy to the order because it'd be coming through the Jedi, but also so that Palpatine could hide his involvement for whenever he was to become Chancellor.
Do you think it will really come to war?
Now, after the order, Dooku needed to be dang sure that Sifo-Dyas was going to keep his big fat lips shut and not tell the Jedi Council about this army. So, he had the Pike Syndicate shoot down Sifo-Dyas' shuttle during a mission and kill him. Sifo-Dyas apparently never returned to Kamino before his death and after placing the order. Now, Sifo-Dyas' death must have been shortly after ordering the army because Finis Valorum was still Supreme Chancellor of the Republic. And because Jango Fett, the bounty hunter, hadn't even been chosen yet as the genetic template for this clone army. Now, since we know that nobody else knew about this order for this huge army, it was easy for the mysterious Tyrannus, who nobody knew to be Count Dooku, to come in and take control of the project.
I was recruited by a man called Tyrannus on one of the moons of Bogdan.
Alright, now here's the crazy part that I've been thinking about. If Sifo-Dyas somehow, through the Force, was having these visions that a galactic conflict would occur and that they would need a grand army, how would that have worked? Why would the Force have been telling him to create a big army when the Force would have known that that army would be used to destroy all the Jedi? So I kind of come up with two conclusions. A, the Force was looking at the big picture and they knew that the Jedi had to be completely eradicated in order for the light side to actually come out on top in the end. Or B, it wasn't the Force giving Sifo-Dyas these foresight visions. It was in fact Darth Sidious, or Darth Plagueis, or even perhaps Darth Tyrannus. They were giving him these Force visions so that he would think it was the Force telling him that this big conflict would occur, but they were in fact giving him these visions so that he could be a pawn to be used in their hands to go to the Kaminoans and create this army.
That is correct.
Now when Obi-Wan and the Jedi learned about Sifo-Dyas' involvement in the creation of this clone army, the army was already battle ready. And they needed it. So there actually at that time really wasn't even time to question the motives behind Sifo-Dyas' involvement in all of this.
I have to admit that without the clones it would not have been a victory.
It wasn't even until the end of the war that the Jedi learned that Tyrannus was in fact Dooku, and they learned about his connection with Sifo-Dyas.
Tyrannus? You are the man called Tyrannus?
No, now we do. That guided the creation of the clones from the beginning. Dooku did. Our enemy created an army for us.
But they still didn't know why. They just knew that the Sith had this massive web of deception going on, and that they were caught in the middle of it.
The shroud of the dark side has fallen.
So Sifo-Dyas was a pretty good Jedi with pretty good intentions, but the dude got played hard by Sidious and Tyrannus, who were able to create an entire clone army for their enemy, for their own usage, and take over the galaxy as a result. So, well played, Sith. Well played. What do you guys think? Let me know. Comment below. Share, like, subscribe. You know the drill. And remember, guys, don't do anything I wouldn't do twice. See you tomorrow.